everyone, welcome back to Holtzfelder Woodworking. My name is Allan. Let's finish this basement. First up, the top half of the bench with our coat hooks and our cubby holes. Then we're going to move on to a full cabinet on that wall for sporting equipment, paint, tools, that kind of stuff. First step, breaking down some plywood. Breaking down large sheets of plywood with a track saw is incredibly easy and relatively safe. I highly recommend buying one. Once the pieces are cut down to manageable sizes, I take them into the shop and finish them on the table saw. I'll get both upright sides out of this one piece. Each of the sides needs a rabbet to accept the 12mm backing. I set the blade depth for about halfway. Rather than measure for the 12mm, I use a scrap piece of the same material to set the fence and line it up for the far side of the blade. No dado stacks in Germany means multiple passes. I start at the 12mm and then I work my way towards the outer edge. For the very last pass, you'll want to clamp on a sacrificial fence to avoid ruining your actual fence. After about 5 passes, you're left with this. Next, we set the fence for the cross pieces. They will be the same width as our sides, minus the rabbet, and then screwed directly to the backing. Square off one end and then cut to length. The actual height isn't critical, but we want to make sure they're both the exact same length, so we use a stop block. And a much smaller setup for the 2 insert pieces. All the pieces are cut and ready for assembly. Now I want to see as few screws as possible, 0 in fact. So we're going to use a combination of the biscuit joiner and pocket holes. I like to mark out the general positions of the pocket holes while it's assembled, so I don't accidentally drill in the wrong spot. It's also much easier to give all the pieces a quick pass with the sander before you assemble them. I could easily screw the inserts in from the bottom, but I really don't want to see those screws from underneath. If I attach them with pocket holes inside the cubby holes and then fill them, they will be virtually invisible and obscured by the baskets. I attach these first because the cubby holes will be too small to fit the drill in later. Next, I mark out where I'm going to cut the slots for the biscuits. I want to try this method for keeping the top aligned when I attach it with the pocket screws. It's really not that important for this job, but it's a low-risk opportunity to practice this. With the top pocket screwed into perfect flushness, I install the shelf. Use a liberal amount of glue and check for square while clamping. Then drill and countersink for a couple of screws right through the top. Lastly, secure the sides with the pocket screws. And that is how you do that. While this is drying, I'm going to cut some dowels to fill in the pocket holes. The MDF should arrive tomorrow and I can build the back, but that is for next episode. Thanks for watching Holtzfelder Woodworking. Be sure to subscribe. Stay tuned.